lovelies, and welcome again to our tutorials for today. I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you guys for the time you put into my videos. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes, for your comments, for your views. And if you are yet to subscribe and you are new to my channel, I beg you please hit on that subscribe icon on your phone and also touch the bell so you get notifications as soon as I upload. So for our tutorials for today, we shall be making a gathered bustier dress, a very simple gathered bustier dress, and I shall be using this 4 yards of Ankara fabric to do that. All right, first I'll be cutting out the length of my dress, I mean from the waist down, and the full length is 27, and I'll be adding 2 inches extra for the seam allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out 29, which is here. I already marked it out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this 29. Okay, here we go. I'm going to be cutting out the back panel first of all, and I cut out this fabric using the biggest body part, which is the bust. All right, our half length measurement is 14 because our dress is going to have a gown, so the half length is 14, and I shall be adding just 1 inch extra for seam allowance. I'll be taking half here and then half to join our band. All right, our shoulder measurement is 16 divided into 2 is 8, which is here. Our armhole is 9, which is here. All right, our bust measurement is 37 divided into 4 will give us 9 1/4, which is here. And I'll be adding 2 inches extra for the seam allowance. Our waist measurement is 30 divided into 4 will give us 7 1/2, which is here. I'll be adding 2 inches extra for seam allowance and then 1 each for that. All right, so for my neckline, I will be using 3 1/2 inches. Okay, I'll be using 3 1/2 inches is okay. 3 1/2 inches. And as for the depth of my neck, I'll be using 4 inches. I will also remove my 1 inch shoulder slope. So I will just go ahead and cut this one out. All right, as for my zip allowance, I used 2 inches for my zip allowance. I'll just open it up. All right, so we'll now proceed to cut out the bustier. All right, I'm going to be cutting out the center front first of all, and I cut out these pieces using the shoulder measurement. Remember, our shoulder measurement is 8, that's 16, and then our half length is 14 plus 1 inch seam allowance, 15. Okay, I'll measure out 4 inches here. I'll also remove my 1 inch shoulder slant here. All right, my bust point to bust point measurement is 8 divided into 2 is 4. I'll be making it 4 1/2. I'll be putting 1/2 an inch for the sewing. All right, my shoulder to bust measurement is 11. I'll be adding 1/2 an inch to my 11 for seam allowance, which is here. All right, I'll go ahead and measure my 4 1/2 all the way down. Okay, so this is my 4 1/2. This is my shoulder to bust point measurement. All right, I will take 3 inches up, 3 inches down. But if it's for somebody who is busty, you can take 4, you can take 3 1/2, but basically whatever you take up is what you take down. I've said that before in my previous videos. So I'll just take 3 inches here, 3 inches here. I will now rule a line. This is my shoulder. I'll rule a line from here to connect to this, like this. Alright, for my neckline I shall be taking 3.5 inches, and for the depth I shall be taking 4.5 inches. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and cut these ones out. I'll also notch these 3 points. Alright, so using this one now, I'm going to cut out the 2 sides. Alright, placing this center front on top of this one, I'm going to use this one for the 2 sides. Making sure I have up to 3 inches left here, I will place it on top of it. I already did a video on this, but let me just repeat it. Then I'll mark out these 3 notches. I'll also go ahead and trace out this shape. Since our armhole measurement is 9, I've already removed 1, so what should be left is 8. Alright, I will measure 2.5 inches here at the center. Then I'll connect this line to my under bust. I'll also draw a line from here to connect with it also. You make sure there are no sharp edges. So I will now proceed and cut this one out. Having done that, I will now place my body measurement. My bust measurement is 37 divided into 4 will give us 9.25. That is 9.25. It is here. I will now add 2 inches extra for seam allowance. And for our waist measurement is 30 divided into 4 is 7.5, which is here. I'll also be adding 2 inches extra for seam allowance. So I'll go ahead and remove this surplus. If you like, you can still leave it. If you like, you remove it. It does not spoil anything. Alright, having cut it out, now I'm going to go ahead and cut out my wooding, cut out my lining, and then use my pressing iron to glue my wooding to the body. Do the same thing at the center one. I line both the front and the back, and then we will come back. Alright, I've cut out the wooding. I've also glued it using my iron against my fabric. This also are the linings for the front. I've also cut out the lining for the back. Alright, now I would want to put a little design to the front of my gown. So I'll be using this strip. The measurement is just 1.5 inch, so that by the time I sew it, it will remain 1 inch or thereabout. So for this strip, I used 1.5 inch measurement. This one also is a band. I used 3.5 inches, so that by the time I start my joining and finish, I should be having like 3 inches or thereabout. Alright, and then this one, I'm going to sew it round, pleat it a little, because it's going to be at the center here. So when I sew it round, I'll pleat it a little. I will now place this one on top of it. That is before I start my line. Alright, So I have determined the center of this front, and this is the line you have here. That is the center. I've also determined the center of this one. So I'll just go ahead placing it like this. I'll just do my pleat. Like 3 is okay. Like this. So as it is now, I'll just run through it with my machine. This one on top, and still run through it again with my machine. Alright, I've inserted the pleats. So I will now go ahead and do my lining. I'm going to join this one together, join my lining separately, as in I'll do this separate, do my lining separate before I now line it. Alright, as you can see, I have done my lining and I've joined them by the shoulder. I've also inserted my darts. So I'll now go ahead and place my body measurement. Alright, so here we go. My bust measurement is 37 divided into 2 will give us 18 1/2. 18 1/2, which is here. My waist measurement is 30 divided into 2 will give us 15. And so I'll go ahead and join it. Alright, having joined the two sides together, I will now go ahead and insert my band using 1/2 inch. That is what I will take here, 1/2 inch. I will sew it all the way round. Alright, I've inserted my band. So the next thing I should do now is to go to my machine, bring down my stitch regulator to the lowest level, and then run a stitch by 1/2 inch all through this lower part of our dress. I'll start from the beginning till the end, putting my stitch regulator at the lowest level. Having done that, as you can see here, I will just start to do my gathers. I will take just one thread, not the two of them, one, and then I'll start to draw my material carefully so that it does not cut. I will continue this process until I've gathered all of these materials. What I have here is, let me see, 33 1/2, including the zip allowance. So I'm going to gather this using the circumference of 33 1/2. Now here you have to make sure that the gathers are evenly distributed. You have to be careful about it so that you don't have any side bulkier than the other side. Now when that is established, the next thing I will do, which I will also advise you do, is to go to your machine, run a stitch, a tighter stitch on top of this gather so that it becomes firm, so that when you are stitching it on the upper part, it does not shift. And that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go to my machine, stitch it on top of these gathers. As I stitch, I guide it just to make sure it does not expand more than I want it to. Okay, I have stitched the top of the gathers, and as you can see, it is now firm. Now go ahead and also knitting the hemline. This is our actual length of gown, so I will just close it up like this. You can actually do it after you've attached it to the upper part, but me, I want to do it because by the time you attach it, it becomes very bulky. Right, having knitted the hemline, I'm going to now start to attach my gathers. So I will just take 2 1/2 inches. That is the length of the band I want to use, 2 1/2 inches from here. And so here is my 2 1/2 inches. I will just place my material on top of this line and just attach it together. To this little design I did at the upper part of my fabric. For the depth of it, I used 6 inches down here, and for the side I used 4.5 inches. All right, as you can see, I have joined our gathers and our gown is almost ready. Now these 2 markings here at both ends, this one and this one, is the actual waist measurement. This one and this one, they are the actual waist measurement. Tape on top under the lower part of this band, not the upper part, the lower part. I will measure out 7 inches. 7 inches. If you like, you can still take it up, but me, I like to use 7 inches. Now from these 7 inches, I will close up the back. All right, I have inserted my zip. What is left now is to put my sleeves head and insert it through the wrong side. The joining at the armhole, that's where I'll start. I'll place my sleeve, take it up a little, and then sew it up. All right, so having inserted my sleeve, and gathered dress is ready, as you can see it. I hope you guys can see it. I'll just go ahead and give it a very long and nice press. Once again, I appreciate you guys for subscribing. Thank you for your views. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. Thank you so very, very much. And if you are new and yet to subscribe, I urge you to please hit on that red icon and subscribe, and also touch the bell so you get notifications as soon as I upload. Until we get to meet again in our next tutorial, just know that I love you from the bottom of my heart, and please keep your head up. Bye.